Hello folks, coming up next is something interesting. What critically acclaimed video game did you just not care for? RuneScape. I only managed to put in about 7,000 hours before carrying on with my life. I don't get how some people have been into it so consistently for 2 decades. I love RuneScape, but you have to put in an insane amount of time to make it far. 7,000 is more impressive than I thought. I just checked my account and I only have 968 hours, and my highest skill is 90. Most of my other skills are 60 to 70. Because of this, I haven't played in a couple months at least. For reference, for anyone that doesn't play OSRS, experience in that game works on an insane exponential curve. A level max is at 99, and half the experience needed to get there gets you to level 92. Scrolls down. Doesn't see my favorite critically acclaimed game listed. Goes back to bed. I see we are in the same boat. I see we're in the same bed. I see we are in the same clothes. Any off FIFA games? Infuriating. They get worse every year and the monetization is absurd. People need to stop buying this gambling simulator disguised as a football game. All my buddies are huge into NBA 2K, but I can't stand the microtransactions. On top of paying $60 for the game, they will also spend $50, $100 on in-game currency to get their characters better. I don't want to spend that much money on a mediocre basketball game. Everyone seems to love Animal Crossing, but I see zero appeal in it. It's definitely not for everyone. Those of us who like it aren't really in it for an epic gaming experience. We just sometimes want to play something to chill and calm down without being screamed or shot at once in a while. I mean, think about it, a game where you live a carefree life alongside cute, fluffy, usually sassy, animal friends, where your main concerns are getting a particular fish or butterfly to add to your collection, and paying off a non-interest loan to a raccoon that you can literally attend to whenever you want. Basically, we're not in it for a raging good time, we just want a little peace and respite from the reality of the awful world we live in. Then again, there are people who find it easier to unwind by blowing the heads off of 100 screaming demons with a shotgun. Destiny. Remember it being massive at launch and being super hyped picking it up that week. Never could get into it at all, and that's from a big Bungie fan. Hell, I have roughly 3,000 hours in between D1 and D2 and even I can't stand it half the time. Destiny is like heroin, it's fun for like 30 minutes but then you hate your life yet you can't seem to quit it. Any MOBA like League or Smite? They look like games that take a lot of time to even be competent at and there's no real motivation to try and understand all that stuff. The trick is to start them when you're having a traumatic event in your life that you don't know how to deal with. Then you funnel all that grief, and narcissism, born from low self-esteem, into it to become good. Then you spend 10 years playing MOBA games to hide from the pain. Eventually you deal with your issues and the whole genre feels unappealing. That's been my experience at least. Well, that is super relatable. League of Legends. Played it for a while, used to like it, but now the thought of playing even a single game disgusts me. First you get trapped in a game for at least 30 minutes with 9 complete strangers who are all simultaneously more toxic than the other, and if you leave or disconnect, you can get banned for days. There is always at least one hopeless optimistic on your team who will refuse to surrender even when it's 0 to 20. I completely agree. Yet I am still completely and hopelessly addicted to it. Yeah, that awesome 1 in a 100 game feeling of solo carrying a teamfight and getting a pentakill is an amazing feeling I've never gotten from any other game. But for me it's probably a 1 in a 1000 game moment lol. Assassin's Creed. The first Assassin's Creed game is what got me back into gaming. I hadn't really been into games for a while, and then I got a PS3 because I wanted a Blu-ray player. A PS3 was literally the best option at the time, and then I went, hey, may as well tried some games. And I tried a few and the graphics were amazing but the games were meh. Then I tried Assassin's Creed and I had never, ever seen anything like it. The whole 3-dimensional traversal was like, wow. Kingdom Hearts 3. My wife grew up playing the first ones and frequently told me how she had great memories of them. When we learned a new installment was coming out we were hyped. Even though we both enjoyed the actual gameplay, there are so many cutscenes that I found the game early unplayable. Yes, could skip the cutscenes, but by that point I was feeling I was really selling the game short, and plus I had no idea what I was actually doing. Who TF is this random bozo that joined my party? Oh, they're gone now, okay. We both ended up just stopping and we were both very disappointed. As a diehard KH fan, KH3 was not up to scratch. It isn't bad, but not on the same level as the other main entries. Badlands. I will admit that I didn't make it past the first few levels, but that was out of sheer boredom from what I perceived to be the game's design and pacing. It was good on mobile though. The only thing I did every time I went into a phone store with display phones. The last few Final Fantasy games were just unplayable to me. Last one I remember enjoying was 12. I feel that. I haven't beaten a single one after X. Well, if you count 14, I beat the main story and most primal events when I played. FFXV was good but skipped past a ton of grinding because well you couldn't was super under-leveled in the second half and quit. FFXV started decently good but frick, some of those fights were so damn slow. I think around hour 5ish you got Snow plus Hope together and that just crawled. FFXV just didn't feel like Final Fantasy, but the cutscenes were nice and I watched those on EAT. You may want to try something like Octopath or Persona 5 if you like more traditional JRPGs. I'm waiting to find a reply that says Undertale. I mean, I liked it. But the internet makes it seem a lot better than it actually is. We need a word for overrated. The people get mad when you say that about something good. Like, Undertale was great and I loved it. I also loved Deltarune, but it wasn't like the Second Coming or anything. Uncharted. As an archaeologist, I absolutely hate how they glorify the illegal antique trade, salvaging and treasure hunting. That crap is a real problem in reality. I want to genuinely know how you feel about Indiana Jones. He was my idol, growing up. It belongs in a museum. But an American museum, of course, stolen from the country of origin. GTA 5. All my friends had it, and it seemed fun after it came out. A few months later I couldn't even be bothered to look into buying it because it seemed like everything was already done and I'd be playing catch-up. The story mode is still very worth playing if you haven't played through it. It's still very much worth its price as a single-player game. I still think it's a crime that single-player never got an expansion of any sort. Dark Souls. I just don't want my limited gaming time to feel like a punishment. I felt the same way at first. I spent hours just on the Undead Burg at the beginning. I'm glad I stuck with it though. It became exciting and interesting and a new way for me to approach gaming in general. Once you get used to the first Dark Souls you will be able to play anything by From Software. I never got into the original Half-Life, which is weird because HL2 is probably my favorite game of all time. Try the Black Mesa remake. This is worth playing even just for the Zen remake alone, so much better than the original Zen. Minecraft, don't know if it qualifies, but I'll leave it here either way. I love Minecraft but I hate playing it. Minecraft is unique and has a lot of character, but I just find it very boring and grindy to play. I feel like Minecraft is amazing when played with friends. Too bad I don't have any gamer friends, let alone Minecraft friends. What would have been your answer or question? Leave it in the comments below. Slap that like and subscribe button for more, and check out the link in the video description for even more answers. Peace out, and catch you in the next video.